Hello everybody, Carlo Batari here from KRAIN Luxury Real Estate here in beautiful Costa Rica. Today we have a very special episode of our YouTube series here on our channel. I'm sitting here in Liberia with the founder of a very unique company here in Costa Rica. It's actually the largest indoor farming culture company in all of Costa Rica. The company is called Pacha. And just a reminder, we do sell a lot of real estate here at KRAIN Luxury Real Estate, but we still are the exclusive affiliate of NAI International Real Estate, which is the largest commercial real estate company, depending on the year that you're looking at. But in general, they are one of the biggest commercial real estate companies in the world. So that's why today we're going to be doing an episode of a business that we have up for sale. We're very excited about it. It's the company is called Pacha Indoor Farming Culture, and I'm sitting with the founder here. So without further ado, I want to introduce you to Jamin. So let's start from the beginning, Jamin. Where are you from, and what brought you to Costa Rica?
My name is Jamin Hazelar. I grew up in San Diego, California, and throughout Northern California as well. So a lot of my background, family history comes from the West Coast. Of course, a lot of the growing and cannabis culture originated from the West Coast of the United States as well. So, yeah, that's where I'm from. And,
awesome.
I've been here in Costa Rica a little over 20 years now.
Yeah.
And we're going on, actually February will be year 16 for Catch a Fire Corporation, which is the mother company of our retail brand, which is Pacha Indoor Farming Culture.
Yeah, and you know, Jamin's probably one of the most unique individuals I've had the honor to meet here in Costa Rica, especially as a business owner, because if you don't know, it's very tricky to own a business here, especially in the days when Jamin started, right? So again, this is a very large operation. We're sitting in the satellite office in Liberia. Their head office is in San Jose. And we did have a side conversation before we started filming about over 10 or 12 locations they've moved back and forth from. But one thing I want to share, I want you to share actually, is the ground up story, because this company and this fairly large operation was started from nothing.
Correct.
Right? So if you want to take us back to the days of when you thought about it, to the first aha moment you had.
No.
Take us back and share some of that.
Well, it's interesting because I was just talking about this yesterday. We had a vendor day at our newest satellite location. We'll be focusing on more organics, but it's in Osada, which is down on the coast, and we're opening a small location that reminded me very much so of the very first store that I opened here in Costa Rica. I had my open launch date of January 1st, 2009, and that was in Playa Jaco. And so it really brought me back to those early days.
Yeah.
Prior to that, we started the company. I started the company in 2008 out of my house. Opened my first store January 1st of 2009 in Jaco, and then shortly after that, one of our flagship stores in San Jose, which we've been in 15 years now.
Amazing.
At that same location. So it kind of gives you an idea of how
Yeah.
far back it goes, and it really did. It started from home, and it was really an idea at that time. We really had no clue that it was going to take off the way it did. So.
It's fascinating because 2008, if people remember, was a massive financial crisis. So perfect timing to start a new company, right?
Interestingly enough, I came down here with a container. I had $10,000 worth of hydroponic equipment, which is what I was starting my business with, and a skid steer Bobcat tractor.
Wow.
And I thought, well, I'll sell hydroponic equipment out of my house and I'll cut roads, because at that time, before the housing crash, people were taking their equity and buying second homes or reinvesting outside of the US. It's like, oh, I'll start running heavy equipment. I was more into, I've always been a grower, but I've also had experience in construction. And needless to say, that tractor ended up, I think I did one job with that tractor. It sat on the side of the shop for probably 5 years before I sold it.
Wow.
I never had any time
Yeah.
to get into what I thought was going to be kind of my primary source of income.
Yeah.
The hydroponic thing just took off. I found a niche here in Costa Rica. There was a need, and yeah, we've kind of just taken off from there.
That's awesome. So from literally selling from your tractor trailer or the back of your car almost, to how many staff do you have now approximately?
We're somewhere 23, 24 people in total right now. We've
Awesome.
reduced down a little bit this last year just to, keep things moving at a healthy pace. But yeah, all of our stores are staffed, all of our administrative and back office is where it needs to be, and
Awesome.
we're somewhere in that. I'd have to look, but I think it's about 23 or 24.
That's fascinating. So. Congratulations on that. So do you remember, starting from the tractor trailer and with one skid and all that stuff, and then now having these major brand deals, right? One thing that sets a Pachamama apart from all the other suppliers or the smaller ones, or makes Pachamama the largest ones, is some of the deals you've been able to secure, right? So, so talk a little bit about that. How were you able to do that? Because again, that's not, for any company, that's not an easy thing to be able to do.
Yeah, one of the advantages of being the first guy on the scene is I got those opportunities way early on, right? And so part of our business model is to have those direct, not just direct support, but those direct deals in place, right? So everything from support to pricing, and it's country specific. So I worked really hard in the early years of creating relationships with all these large companies.
No Instagram or anything to DM.
To fulfill my vision of what I wanted to grow this company into, and part of that vision was making sure that I can have some type of one-on-one direct. I mean, you can always go through a distributor, you can always go with these bigger companies, but before a lot of the acquisitions started happening this last few years, 10 years ago, 15 years ago, I was making deals directly with the largest manufacturers, especially in our consumable category, which is our, where we, make our most money, right? And that was really important that we had those direct relationships. And most, if not all, have stayed with me all of these years, and they've been super loyal to me as I have been to them, right? So it's been a really interesting journey over the years, and we were just talking about these vendor days and things that we're doing, and the companies that are coming down and putting their resources into these type of events with us, they're not new companies for us. These are companies we've been working with for many, many years, and it's been amazing. It keeps us relevant, right? And having with the industry moving the way it has, especially over the last 5 or 6 years, I can't tell you how important those relationships, those standing relationships, really made a difference. Because a lot of these companies have been acquired, they still get to work independently at some level, but now you've got regulatory departments and all of these changes that have gone from more of that grassroots movement to what it is today, which is more corporate, and we're more corporate because of it. But I still maintain those relationships. So it's been great.
The good thing is that you've definitely been able to. One thing that I can see from the outside, you've built this large company, and you might be more corporate, but it still has a very good vibe to it, and I'm sure that's a lot of cultivating from your end.
Our model, besides keeping people growing, encompasses the whole lifestyle of Costa Rica. Surfing, music, lifestyle, living,
nature.
Living in nature. And so, we've taken all of those elements and pulled those into this business, right? And so we do things like concert events, we do vendor days, we do all these different things, and we sponsor surf events, we sponsor boxing organizations.
Awesome.
And we really do. We try to be involved with the community.
Exactly, you guys are
And
ingrained.
it's not just us kind of against the world. We're trying to bring everybody into what
Yeah.
we're doing, and it's helped our brand really grow. And not just here in Costa Rica, we're recognized all throughout Latin America,
Yeah.
and certainly throughout the industry as a whole. Right?
Awesome. Yeah, and you know, when I first saw the brand, I was like, oh my gosh, I've seen this online. You know, which leads me to two things. One, I want to come back to the name, but what I want to do is unpack what exactly is hydroponics or an indoor farming culture company to you in the most layman terms. You know,
well, in particular here in Costa Rica, because of our extreme climates, we've got multiple, depending on elevations, we have multiple climate variances here. Indoor farming is super crucial because we get 8 months of rain. Controlled environments, super crucial in the sense that it allows people to be able to grow throughout the year. And even the largest companies are growing in large commercial greenhouses that
you got to control those X factors.
That way they can meet their demands year round, right? And so for me, I mean, the retail, everything at the retail level or the hobby level scales into commercial.
Okay.
And so we've moved a lot of our resources, forecasting into all the licensing and things that are coming online here. But in essence, everything we do at the kind of the grassroots level, all of it scales into commercial. And so we're taking all of the lessons we've learned over the years, and whether it's increasing our size presentations or just our overall offerings, automation, all of those things. For me, that's what hydroponics really encompasses, is being able to control an environment that has so many variances when you're working outdoors. But we service both the indoor and outdoor markets. It's a little more limited, especially here outdoor, because of the extreme weather patterns and heat and sun. We're 6 degrees from the sun, so it's very intense sunlight. This gives people an opportunity to be more plant specific and really be able to maximize their potentials and their outcome.
So I like that you haven't, you still cater to the grassroots hobbyists, as you mentioned. And again, this is a fully running operation, so you still have these larger commercial companies that reach out and you supply them with their setup. And I've had the honor of seeing, of you giving a demonstration of how you can take somebody, or whether it's a hobbyist or a company, and say, hey, we want to grow this, and you set them up from the lighting, I don't even know the names of all, the terms of all these things, but I was blown away with some of the setup you guys have in your flagship store in San Jose, which we'll do another series at the San Jose location. But I want to circle back to the name. There's two parts there, Catch a Fire Corporation and Pachamama. How did that all come about?
So Catch a Fire, the name Catch a Fire is well-known reggae term. There's a band, a very famous band from New Zealand that's called Catch a Fire, one of my favorite bands. And back in the day when we were setting up the company, it was kind of on the fly. The lawyer's like, what do you want to call your company? And I went, well, Catch a Fire. And I've been in reggae for many years, and so that made sense. We had some friends from San Jose, some very good friends that have a big brand development company. And I reached out to them and said, hey, we're looking for, branding and some ideas on a retail kind of store name. And so between all of us working together, we came up with Pachamama. Pachamama means Mother Earth. So Pacha is Earth, and of course Mama is Mother. And the tagline, indoor farming culture, just fits with everything that we do at the hydroponic level, controlled environments, all of that. So it's been, it's
awesome. And I know the last time we met in person in San Jose, you shared that you just had this huge concert, right?
Yep.
In Playa Jaco.
Playa Jaco.
That was an anniversary celebration, right?
Yeah, it was my 50th birthday, and it was
Yeah.
also our 15-year anniversary
right.
as a company. And so
Yeah.
it was a huge milestone for us, and,
Yeah.
we've done some of these anniversary parties in the past, but certainly 15 years is
Big deal.
a milestone for any company anywhere, but in particular here in Costa Rica, just the challenges of doing business. Certainly, I'm a permanent resident here, and I have my position here, but I'm still a foreigner, right? And so the early years before a lot of administrative tasking came online here in Costa Rica, boy, it was crazy, man. The stuff that we have to go through. It's gotten a little bit easier, but the challenges still remain on a lot of levels, as you know.
Yeah.
So we celebrated our 15-year anniversary through a big free concert in the middle of Jaco. And
I saw some of that footage. And you were playing too, right?
I was playing as well as some bands and DJs that we brought from the States. We also had a kind of a professional vendor day where we invited all of our top brands, Athena, Hydroponic, Roots Organics, some of the top brands in the industry to come and display their products. We had tents, and it was more of a business day that led up to the concert, and it was awesome.
That's awesome. Yeah, hopefully we can get some of that footage and share some of that. So one thing to note is in any business, the startup is the hardest. So a lot of people, even any industry, people don't realize how much blood, sweat, and tears literally go into starting a company, especially starting a company in a foreign country. And hitting those milestones of 5 years, 10 years, and 15 years. So I feel like anyone who's interested in a company like this, you're literally primed to take off. It's already a very well-known brand and establishment in terms of income, staff, operational reputation. So, and now it's really just set for anyone who's really want to take it on a corporate level and grow it. Because I know you've been having small conversations or side conversations and offerings from other Latin countries of expansion, right?
Correct.
Yeah. So I don't know what you're at liberty to share around that.
I want to be a little careful with that.
Perfect.
I mean, at one point we were in 3 countries here in Costa Rica. We had a store in Medellin, Colombia, as well as another location in Hawaii. COVID played a big factor for us. Fortunately here, and we closed our store location. We still have a company in Colombia, and we do a little distribution. We closed our Hawaii location. Interestingly enough, during COVID, we were considered essential because we're ag. We fall under that ag umbrella here in Costa Rica, and so we didn't lose a single day. We didn't get rid of a single employee, and our sales were up over 35%. So it was a huge opportunity for us. In hindsight, a lot of people struggled during that time. We had an opportunity to actually grow. And that was, it was interesting. It was an interesting time, and we've just maintained that momentum since.
That's awesome. Yeah, so what's, for me, is there anything specific you want to share about the company, where it's going, what you have planned in the future?
I'm a visionary, I'm an entrepreneur. So for me, everything is about a growth plan. Everything is about future planning and growth, and trying to get this baby, from crawling to running, right? And we've done that successfully over the years.
Absolutely.
I'm at the point right now, I'm 50 years old. I'll actually be 51 in February. It's already been a year. I've got 3 grandkids. I've been in Costa Rica many years. I'm not leaving Costa Rica, but I'm just ready for a change in my life. And it's not because things are going bad or anything like that. It's just, family's super important to me, and I've sacrificed a lot of years growing this company and being away from my family to make all of this happen. I think the interesting thing about this company is turnkey ready. We have a full staff.
Yeah.
I have employees that have been with me for many, many years, 14, 15 years. And
I've met some of them.
And I'm proud of that, because
You should be.
especially in any type of a retail environment or just business in general, especially here in Costa Rica, it's hard to get people that stick around, let alone want to stick around. And I think that speaks volumes in the culture of our company. Who we are is not just a company that has grown and gotten more, we've moved more from the grassroots, more to the corporate world a little bit. But we are a family. We call it the Pacha family, Pachamama family. And I think that speaks volumes. Personally.
Absolutely.
And as much as I'm ready to hand off the torch, it's bittersweet. I've worked extremely hard at growing this. I've got some really great people around me. And I think what comes with that is all the blood, sweat, and tears that have gone into this. Those relationships that I've built over many years, not just with my biggest manufacturers and suppliers from around the world.
Absolutely.
But also all the way down to my staff. And to have people at the staff level that have embraced that vision and have wanted to stay around for as many years as they have. I'm proud of that. I'm proud of them. I'm proud of them being here. I'm proud of what we've done as a team. And
as you should be.
You're gonna get me all choked up.
I mean, again, I do want to tip my hat. I'll give you your flowers, man. You've built a huge company here. There's it's not a small operation. This is a legitimate agricultural indoor farming hydroponics company.
This is one of our smallest stores here. We're in Guanacaste. Right now we currently have 6 locations plus our warehouses and all of that.
Exactly.
So, we've it's been a crazy journey, but man, I have no regrets. Certainly there's things that can be done better. There's certainly things, you always go back on the woulda, shoulda, all those stuff, but
you're here for a reason. You survived COVID.
We did, and we're still going. We're thriving. I remember
one of the few that grew during COVID. So.
For sure, and I remember, we made our first $10,000. And and then it was like, man, we made $100,000 this year. And then it was like, shit, we did $500,000. And then it was like, we just did $2 million. Holy smokes! Never thought it would have grown like that. And,
good for you, man. You should be proud of that.
I am proud of that, and I've got some really great people that I surround myself with. Not just within the company, but around Costa Rica. And I'm friends with some of the largest families in San Jose, and I'm proud of the relationships that I've built over the years, and it's not just for me, but for our team as well here at Guatemala.
Awesome, I love it. So again, like for anyone who's even thinking about whether it's you're in the industry already and you're thinking about relocating to Costa Rica, this is a turnkey ready operation. Or even if you're looking for a career change and you have that business mindset, someone like Jamin, I know he'd be willing to help you out as he transitions out of the company. But again, this is you mentioned it, some of the numbers. If you're interested in knowing some of the gross numbers, reach out to us. You'll have to sign some NDAs, but at the same time, you'll get the insight of the company because it is a fairly large operation. Again, it's turnkey, ready to go. Other than that, we're going to share some other details about the company with you guys. If you have any questions at all, leave them in the comments. We'll answer them ourselves. But for right now, I don't know, is there anything else, last words you want to share in the video before we do the second part in San Jose?
I just encourage people to, if you're looking to change your lifestyle, if you're looking to get out of the U.S., there's places around the world that just are not doing that great. And, as many challenges that we have here in Costa Rica, man, we're doing pretty dang good compared to a lot of places. And I think it's just an opportunity to fast track something that is already established. It's taken me 15, 16 years to get to this point. And so somebody coming in that wants this type of lifestyle, that wants this kind of new thing, and it very well could be somebody already, you know, in the industry. I think it makes a lot of sense. But you know, they get the opportunity to kind of be slingshotted past all of the, you know, the heartaches, and just step right into something that's already working.
And the last thing I would say is the timing couldn't be any better, because the stigma around you know, cannabis and the growth of it is definitely no longer around. You know, I'm sure.
Yeah, and I can, you know, certainly anything that grows under the sun, we service. We work with big companies like the Doles, and you know, we sell propagation to, you know, produce companies.
Yeah.
Our main thing is cannabis centered. Cannabis here in Costa Rica has been decriminalized. Medical cannabis has been approved. Regulations are still waiting to come online, but as those licenses are continuing to be handed out, the overall growth of our company and the environment, not just in our retail, but also as we've scaled into distribution, it continues to grow, right? And so we'll see how things transpire here over the next, you know, coming months and years, but we're on a good track, right? And, and I think Costa Rica is just following in suit with most countries that have, you know, moved into the cannabis space. And you know, I sell the shovel. I don't sell cannabis. I don't, you know, it's still illegal to manufacture without a license. But again, everything that we do at the hobby level scales into commercial, and that volume is where our growth plan is over the next couple of years.
Awesome. Well, Jamin, I really appreciate the time. Always fun talking to you.
Yes, sir.
If you guys have any questions at all, if you enjoyed the video, give us a like, subscribe if you're new. So then we'll see you in Costa Rica. Pura vida.